Hello, welcome to the second video, the how to play video for Clinic Quest. We already talked about how to do setup, so in this video we're going to talk about how to play the game. On a player's turn, they may make one move of 3 different varieties. The first is research, general research. The second is move, and the third is ask a question. The first two require a dice roll, so players may start their turn by rolling a dice, which I'll do now. I got 4. 4 means that I can either move 4 spaces, or I can just get the information card from the number 4 piece of research, which I believe is gonorrhea. So right now I have 2 choices. I could either move my player 4 spaces in any direction, or I could have them take the top research card for gonorrhea. I don't have any questions for gonorrhea, as I can see. So I'm going to instead move in the direction of syphilis. So I'll take my piece and move 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. And because I landed on a patient icon, as you see here, I'm going to take a patient card. It's another syphilis question. Excellent. It's the direction I was moving in, so that's perfect. The other thing I could have done was, like I said, take this research card. The third option the player has, though, is to ask a question. Now, this doesn't have as much value at the beginning of the game, but the way it works is, if you have a patient question card, and you think that another one of the players has the answer to that, you can turn to any player in the game and ask them, how can I get syphilis? Or any of the other questions that you may have. And if that player has the answer to that collected in the research, then they are required to then tell you the answer. If they do tell you the answer, you each score a point. So it does behoove the player to answer the question, and it does behoove you to ask people when you think that they have the answer. Once again, this or for the first time I'll say, there's only one answer for each question. So sometimes you may have to do this in order to answer some of your patient's questions. Finally, at any point in your turn, you can answer patient questions that you actually have the answer to. So let's say I had the answer to this question in my deck that I collected either from rolling the die or getting to this research lab. That's not something I mentioned before, but if the player does get to the research lab, then they can just take cards directly and not have to roll a die to decide what information they get. That's why I headed in that direction. But the way that works is the player would hand the patient question and the research answer to the player on their right. And the person on their right would read the question to the player who handed the questions to them, and they would need to answer the question without looking at the research card. So they would basically need to know what the answer to the thing was. So they will need to read these before they can hand them off. So in that situation, the player gets 2 points. They get a point basically because they did it all by themselves. So the first player that gets to 7 is the winner, and that is Clinic Quest. I hope this video helps you all understand the game. Thank you.